Nan is about to do something no one saw coming. A secret she thought was buried forever is back, and it's about to blow up everything she's built. If you thought the Buccaneers was dramatic before, wait until you hear what's coming in. Episode 7, Season 2 has already pushed Nan to the edge. From the very first episode, it was clear she wouldn't be the same wide-eyed debutante we met in Season 1. After the fallout of her scandal, marrying Theo, becoming a duchess, and then realizing that money and status can't fix everything, Nan has been walking a fine line between two worlds. One is the glittering society of England, full of power, privilege, and rules. The other is something far more dangerous, freedom. Nan has never played by the rules, and that's what made her so exciting. But in Season 2, the consequences start. To catch up with her secret, that she married Theo while already pregnant with Guy's child, becomes harder and harder to hide. The baby, a symbol of her love and her rebellion, is at the center of everything. She's not just a duchess anymore. She's a mother, and every move she makes could affect her child's future. We've watched Nan struggle with this new identity. She tries to fit in with high society, but deep down, she's still the same American girl who wants more than just a fancy title. In public, she plays the part, but in private, she's restless. Her marriage to Theo is already showing cracks. It's clear he wants to control her, or at least protect his family's name, but Nan isn't someone who can be controlled. She wants to write, she wants to live, she wants to be real, even if it costs her everything. Her relationship with the other Buccaneers has also shifted. Conchita, who was once her closest ally, is now drifting away. The group is no longer the united front it once was. Each of the girls is dealing with her own struggle, and Nan can't fix it all. This season, we see her begin to isolate herself, not because she wants to, but because her truth is too dangerous to share. And then there's Guy, the man she actually loves. The father of her child, he's been mostly out of the picture so far, but his presence still lingers. Every glance at her baby reminds Nan of what she gave up, of what might have been. She tries to move forward, but her heart won't let her forget. And in a world where love is supposed to be quiet, proper, and arranged, Nan's love story is a ticking time bomb. The show has been slowly turning up the pressure, episode by episode. And now, with episode 7 just around the corner, it feels like everything is about to explode. Nan is not just one character in a fancy dress. She's becoming the face of a deeper conflict, one that challenges the rules of her time. The question is no longer whether she can survive the scandal. The real question is, what will she do next? Episode 7 is where the story takes a sharp, unexpected turn. According to early leaks from behind the scenes, Nan's journey is about to become even more intense, personal, and risky. The episode picks up not long after Nan's last confrontation with Theo, a quiet but tense moment that hinted things weren't just rocky between them, but possibly beyond repair. And now we know why. In episode 7, Nan receives a letter. But not just any letter. It's from someone connected to her late father, and it brings up a past that Nan has tried hard to avoid. The letter contains information about her family's true financial situation and a deeper scandal from years ago. This isn't about love or motherhood anymore. It's about legacy. About the truth Nan has never been told. And it's this truth that sets the episode on fire. Nan starts to question everything, not just Theo or her place in society, but her entire upbringing. The values she was raised with, the shame her family tried to bury, the lies she unknowingly inherited. She learns that her father was involved in a quiet deal that may have ruined another American family, and it's that very betrayal that made Nan's own fortune possible. Suddenly, the wealth she once believed was her birthright feels dirty, stolen, and the woman Nan wants to become can't be built on someone else's pain. This emotional reveal sends her into a spiral. She turns inward, avoiding her friends and distancing herself even more from Theo. When he tries to make peace, she doesn't respond with warmth, she responds with silence. Her eyes, tired and distant, tell a bigger story. She's no longer just disappointed in her marriage. She's waking up to the fact that the life she's been building isn't truly hers. It was chosen for her. Pressed onto her like a costume. And then, in one of the episode's most powerful scenes, Nan does something no one expected. She begins writing again. Not in secret, not quietly, she begins drafting a story based on her life, all of it. The lies, the pressure, the heartbreak. It's raw, unfiltered, and dangerous. Because if anyone finds out what she's doing, it could cause a full-blown scandal. But Nan doesn't care. Writing is no longer her dream. It's her weapon. Meanwhile, the other Buccaneer women start to feel the ripple effects of Nan's silence. Conchita suspects something is wrong, especially when Nan misses an important social event without warning. Lizzie, who has been trying to keep peace among the group, begins to question whether marriage really gave them the freedom they all hoped for. The unity that once defined the group is cracking, just as Nan begins to find her voice again. But perhaps the most shocking moment comes near the end of the episode, when Nan receives a visitor. It's Guy, not a dream, not a letter. He's there in front of her after all this time, and he's not just visiting. He's heard rumors about her child. He wants answers. And Nan is finally forced to face what she's been hiding for so long. The scene is said to be quiet, almost painfully quiet, no yelling, no dramatic music. Just two people standing in a room, finally seeing each other without lies. Guy asks her one question, is she mine? And for a moment, Nan says nothing. The episode ends right there. No answer. Just silence and Nan's face, frozen between fear and freedom. Episode 7 isn't just about secrets coming to the surface. It's about what those secrets do to the people who've spent their lives hiding them. The leaked storyline reveals that after Guy's surprise appearance and that haunting question, is she mine? Nan is left shaken. She doesn't answer immediately. Instead, she retreats. Not just from Guy, but from herself. The camera lingers on her face, not as a sign of weakness, but of deep thought. This isn't just about telling the truth. It's about deciding who she wants to become once that truth is out. In the days that follow, Nan avoids everyone. She doesn't attend dinner. She stops writing. She doesn't even see her baby. But this silence isn't the silence of guilt. It's the silence before decision. She's thinking, calculating, remembering. She rereads the letter about her father's betrayal. She holds onto the first draft of her story, which still sits unfinished on her desk. And then she finally makes a choice. The leaks say that Nan takes a walk to the edge of the estate. Alone, there, she meets Guy again. This time, it's different. She doesn't cry. She doesn't beg. She simply tells him the truth. Yes, the baby is his. She never planned to live forever. But when she realized what kind of life she was being pushed into, she didn't know how to escape without hurting everyone. Guy listens quietly. Then he asks her what she wants now. That question hangs in the air. What does Nan want? For the first time, she doesn't give an emotional answer. She doesn't say freedom, or happiness, or love. She says, I want to build something real. Even if I have to destroy everything that came before it. It's one of the boldest lines in the episode, and maybe the whole season. Meanwhile, back at the manor, Theo is beginning to sense that something is wrong. His conversations with Nan have grown cold. She barely speaks to him. He tries to win her back with logic, with money, with status, everything he thinks a duchess would want. But he doesn't understand that Nan isn't that woman anymore. If she ever was, when he finally confronts her, it's not explosive. It's controlled, even polite. But there's something chilling in her voice when she tells him, "You didn't marry me. You married what I look like in the ballroom." Asterisk, this moment is huge. Nan is not just rejecting Theo, she's rejecting the entire idea of what society told her she had to be, and the consequences are immediate. Theo, pushed into a corner, begins to talk of lawyers, custody, and scandal. He doesn't threaten her directly, but the message is clear. If she leaves him, it won't be quiet. It'll be public, brutal, unforgiving, asterisk, but Nan doesn't back down. That's what makes this episode so important. She doesn't cry or beg or break. She simply says, "Then let it be loud." That one sentence sets the tone for the final act of the episode and likely the rest of the season. Asterisk, elsewhere, the Buccaneer girls are dealing with their own fallout. Lizzie discovers a letter from her husband that suggests he may be planning to leave for a diplomatic post without her. Conchita, always the most outspoken, is beginning to realize that her marriage was built more on rebellion than love. She starts asking questions that make her dangerous, not to men, but to the system they all live in. The group begins to feel more divided than ever. But there's something else happening, too. Quietly, slowly, they're all starting to look to Nan again. Not for guidance, but for proof that it's possible to survive outside the box they've been placed in. If Nan really does walk away from Theo, if she tells her story, if she claims her child and her truth, maybe the others can do the same. Asterisk, by the end of the episode, Nan sits down at her desk again. She starts writing this time with confidence. The narration is set to play over scenes of her walking through the estate, holding her daughter, and looking into the distance. The story she's writing isn't just a novel. It's her confession, her rebellion, her declaration. Asterisk, the last shot, according to the leak, is a slow pan out from her window as the pages of her manuscript scatter across the desk. The title, The Buccaneers, asterisk, episode 7, isn't just another dramatic hour of television. It's a turning point. A breaking of the mold. A bold statement about what the Buccaneers has really been about all along. Underneath the love stories, the scandals, and the lavish gowns, there's something raw and more real. A group of women asking the question, what happens when you stop pretending to be what the world wants you to be? Asterisk, Nan's story is leading the charge. This episode peels away the last layer of her former life and shows us the beginning of something new. She's not just rejecting her marriage, she's rejecting the entire world that tried to shape her. And for many fans, that's the heart of the show. Asterisk, people on social media are already buzzing. On Reddit threads and X, formerly Twitter, fans are torn between rooting for Nan's escape and fearing what she might lose in the process. One theory going around suggests that Nan's manuscript, the one titled The Buccaneers, is actually what the show is based on. That the entire story we've been watching is Nan's version of events told through fiction. If that's true, it would explain the bold tone, the rebellious energy, and the focus on female desire and freedom. Asterisk, another theory suggests that Theo might not go down without a fight. He may use the legal system to try to gain control of Nan's child or her reputation, a realistic and devastating possibility in that time period. Some fans believe this could lead Nan to flee England altogether, perhaps returning to America with Guy, or even alone, choosing the pen over the prince. If the leak is accurate, then episode 7 could be the start of that escape. Asterisk, as for the other girls, there's real uncertainty. Lizzie is on the verge of being left behind, emotionally and possibly physically. Her husband's job offer could be the start of a separation she never saw coming. And Conchita's boldness might get her into deeper trouble. The friendships that once felt like a safety net are now fraying, but that doesn't mean they're gone. It may just mean the girls have to rebuild them on new terms, outside of marriage and money. Asterisk, this episode also leans into the biggest theme of the series, identity. Not just who these women are in private, but who they're allowed to be in public. It asks hard questions. Can a woman own her past without being punished for it? Can she be a mother and still have freedom? Can she write her truth when everyone wants her to stay silent? Asterisk, the answer the show gives, especially in episode 7, is yes, but at a cost. Asterisk, and maybe that's the point. The cost of truth, of independence, of real love, it's high, but none is willing to pay it. And that makes her not just a duchess, or a rebel, or even a mother. It makes her a symbol, a warning, a revolution in a corset. Asterisk, as we wait for episode 8, fans are left with so many questions. Will Nan publish her book? Will she face public ruin? Will she fight Theo in court? Will she finally choose Guy or herself? The leaks don't answer everything, but what they do show is that this story isn't slowing down. It's heating up. Asterisk, one thing is clear. Nan's story isn't over. It's just getting started. Asterisk, if the leaks are true, episode 7 could change everything for Nan and for the Buccaneers as a whole. What do you think will happen next? Will Nan finally break free? Or will the past pull her back in? Asterisk, drop your theories in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more episode breakdowns, leaks, and fan deep dives. The drama is far from over, and we're just getting to the good part.